this is Avni, and I am going to present a seminar on OpenView with a demonstration using Happy2. So before that, let's understand some prerequisites which actually are required for understanding this topic. This is the content on which we will be discussing during this seminar. So before discussing on the thread protocol, it's actually worth mentioning that IoT has acquired significance in many fields like industrial, manufacturing, healthcare, retail, etc. And one of the fields of IoT becoming very much popular is actually home automation, where some IoT devices are actually installed in small building and home, which provides recommendation monitoring services by communicating with each other in the network. So there's a need for the standard network and technology for the IoTs, which is actually secure, reliable, compatible, and a power efficient. Yes, why power efficient? Because as these IoT devices are have a limited memory and a processing power. Along with that, they are operated on batteries. So for this reason, such technology or a stack is required. And so that's why the thread protocol was introduced. This thread protocol or thread network protocol is actually IPv6 based mesh networking protocol, also called as WPAN. This is actually built on proven technologies, as we can see in a figure such as 6LoWPAN and IEEE 802.15.4 at a MAC and a physical layer. It generally uses UDP at a transport layer, but yeah, it's actually support TCP or any other IPv6 based transport protocol. Let's discuss in brief about IEEE 802.15.4 and a 6LoWPAN. This IEEE 802.15.4 is actually used by several IoT protocols such as Zigbee, 6LoWPAN and MiFi, etc. at a MAC and a physical layer. Unlike Wi-Fi, it's actually designed for a low rate wireless PAN for battery powered devices. But as like Wi-Fi, it also operates on a 2.4 GHz band. On the other hand, the 6LoWPAN is just an acronym of IPv6 over low power wireless PAN, that is personal area network, and the 6 it stands for IPv6. It's like an adaptation layer between the network and a data link layer. In general, as in a OSI or a TCP/IP protocol stack, there is actually no need for any adaptation layer. But for a IoT, it is, because IoT devices are LPD, low power devices, and operates on low data rate. I repeat, it's a low data rate. It actually demands low data rate. That's why it uses a 6LoWPAN. And what exactly it does is that, like, see, as we know that data packets from the network layer such as IPv6 header itself is of 40 bytes and a UDP header of 8 bytes, along with the payload specific coming from these layer. Thus, the size of the payload that is flowing from network to a data link layer is actually large. So there was a need for an adaptation layer, which is actually 6LoWPAN. What it actually does is that it compresses the IPv6 header of 40 bytes and a UDP header of 8 bytes into a combined 6 bytes generally. And also, one more important point I actually like to share is that this 6LoWPAN is actually designed only for IPv6 and not for IPv4. Now talking about the application layer, as written, thread does not define any application layer. So moving to our next slides. Now let's discuss something about a thread network topology and our devices. It's actually a mesh network with the various and devices which communicate with each other only through a thread router. This thread router provides routing service and as well as joining and security services to the devices which are actually trying to join the network. The thread network also have something called thread leader, which is nothing but a leader elected dynamically from all the thread router responsible for maintaining registry routes or IDs. One interesting fact is that there's no single point of failure issue in the thread network, because if the leader fails, then someone other actually assumes the role, thus providing a reliability, and this is also called as a self-healing feature of the thread. Lastly, the border router is actually responsible for maintaining end-to-end connectivity from a thread network to adjacent network like a Wi-Fi, etc. Or putting it simply, it can be assumed as a gate for coming in or going out from the network. So moving to the next slide. Now let's discuss what's OpenView is. As I mentioned earlier, that thread does not define any application layer. Thus, Weave can actually run over the thread network, acting as a application layer stack for the IoT devices. And OpenView is just an open source implementation of this Weave network, helping IoT devices for the device to device or device to mobile or device to cloud communication. In a Weave terminology, these are called as a resources, and a collection of resources is called as a Weave fabric. It's to be noted that Weave is compatible only with the IPv6. Here is actually the GitHub link for the OpenView. Moving to next slide. At this point, I would actually like to delay any discussion regarding the slide 6. I will actually explain this during the experiment demonstration, detailing how the Weave assigns IPv6 address to its nodes. Yes, Weave assigns an additional IPv6 address to its nodes. So at last, Happy is actually a simple simulation tool for performing complex network topology on a same Linux machine without using any IoT device. One interesting point is that Happy is built on Linux network namespaces, so can only be used for on a Linux machine. This is actually a GitHub link for the API, and this is a link explaining how to install the this Happy tool. I won't discuss that because it's actually pretty simple, but yeah, it's consumes a lot of time while installing it. So let's skip this and head to the experiment demonstration using Happy tool. Is of creating a two nodes connected via border router. So this actually topology is a simple example of a hand that's a home media network having two nodes, one in a thread, another in a Wi-Fi network connecting through a border router. So let's basically jump to the terminal by creating three nodes. I will actually copy the command from here itself in order to basically make the process fast. So this is actually this commands like happy node add thread node. It will actually add the basically node named as basically thread node. Similarly, basically we will add another node named as border router, and similarly we actually will add a Wi-Fi node. Now the nodes are actually made. Now let's basically create some network that is actually the thread network and the Wi-Fi network. So for that the basically command is happy network basically add thread network thread. What this command is that this actually basically adds helps to basically add a network. This is a network name, that's actually the thread network, and this is a type of a basic network, that's actually thread. Similarly basically for Wi-Fi we have basically happy network add Wi-Fi network, that's actually the name of the network and the basic type Wi-Fi. So okay, I got it. It's actually a typo. Yeah, now it's okay. Now let's see quickly check the state of a topology via handy command happy state. It will actually tell us basically the number of basically networks. We have a basically thread network and a Wi-Fi, and the basically three nodes, actually the thread, the border, and the Wi-Fi, and this is of type basic thread and Wi-Fi as expected. So let's basically now it's actually making this not enough. We have to basically add this nodes to the corresponding networks. That is actually the thread node to the thread network and the Wi-Fi node to the Wi-Fi network, and border node to the both the networks, because the border is actually just an connectivity between these two networks. So let's basically do that by the command happy node join. Happy node join. This is actually the node we want to basically join, and this is the network into which basically we want to join it. So this actually the thread network joins to thread network, thread node joins to thread network, this border router joins to the thread network, now making the basically border router to join the Wi-Fi network. And similarly making the Wi-Fi node to join the Wi-Fi network. Now let's check the happy state again. So yeah, we have a basically now interface, and our actual topology looks like this. We have a thread node in the thread network, Wi-Fi node in the Wi-Fi network, and we have a border router in both the basically networks, as well as the basic interface. Here we have basically, since this is actually a WPAN wireless personal area network, so it have an interface like WPAN 0 and WPAN 0 basically on both of these. But this basic interface is actually for the border router, and this interface is of a thread node. Similarly WLAN 0 and WLAN 0 on both of these in the Wi-Fi network. So now we have to actually assign the basic IP addresses to these basically nodes. And the best thing basically in assigning IP addresses is that we have to assign a IP prefix basically addresses to the network, and the happy will actually assign automatically the IP addresses to all the nodes in that network. So let's basically do that. Actually I'm just basically adding a IPv6 header to the thread network, because thread basically works only for IPv6 and not for IPv4. Though in the basically case of a Wi-Fi we can actually add basically IPv4 and IPv6 address. So yeah, and for adding basically IPv6 basically addresses, or basically simple IP addresses, we just basically had to type the command happy network basically address, then the network name and the IP prefix. Basically in this case we are adding IPv6 prefix for a thread network. And similarly basically we will add a IPv6 prefix for a Wi-Fi network, and then one IPv4 basically prefix for a Wi-Fi network. Now quickly let's check the state. Yes, see, we have actually IPv6 basically prefixes for the both the networks, and for individual nodes basically on all these basic networks we have a basically IPv6 address, like this is for the thread node basically in the thread network, and this is for the border router basically, because border router has a two interfaces, so it will have a basically it have a basically two IPv6 address and one basically IPv4 address, because this interface will be in the basic Wi-Fi network, which we have basically given IPv6 and IPv4. So this interface will have two addresses, IPv6 and IPv4, and similarly this interface will have a IPv6 and IPv4. So now let's basically before basically pinging that, we have to actually add a basically route to basically forward to make the basically forwarding enabled between these two basic interfaces, like from going to basically this or from going to this. So for that, this is the command. What this command is actually does, it will basically add the basically root. This actually command is happy network root. Minus is actually basically stand for basically adding. Minus I actually stand for the source basic network, that's actually the from which the traffic is actually arriving, and minus T is actually denotes the basic target network. We are actually keeping it default, and minus V is basically for via basically what gateway router, and minus P is actually gives a IP prefix basically, like because this is actually necessary, because the border router or the basic network gateway may have a basically more than one IP prefixes, as in this case border router has a these two basically IP prefixes of Wi-Fi thread and a thread network, so Wi-Fi network and a thread network, so it's actually needed. And similarly basically we are doing the one route from in the reverse direction. Now let's basically ping it and check whether it's successful or not. Yeah, it is successful. So what actually happy ping does is that happy ping it's actually pings the every IP addresses of every interface of the target node, as the basically we are actually targeting on the border router, and we know that basically on the border router we have a two interfaces, but this interface has a basically two IP addresses, so total there will be basically 1 plus 2, that's actually 3 pings. So, and we can see that basically the 2 pings basically are actually successful, 0 packet loss, but yeah, they are 100% packet loss is actually there for IPv4, because we know thread does not works for IPv4. Now similarly basically actually we can actually ping for a ping from thread node to a Wi-Fi node, and let's see basically first of all basically guess that how many pings will be there. There will be basically 2 pings, because this interface have actually two IP address, one is IPv6 and one is IPv4, and let's see basically and obviously the IPv4 will be going to fail. Let's see, yeah, as basically expected IPv4 will actually going to be basically failed, because thread doesn't use that. Thread is actually based on IPv6 implementation, and IPv6 will be basically passed, as we can see 0% packet loss. So yeah, now in order to basically enable a basically more secure and reliable basically way of connectivity everything together, let's actually add a V basically on the top of it. This actually HAN, that is actually home area network. As we know, V is actually an application layer, and we can actually add V functionality with the OpenV, which we have configured with a happy during the installation process. An implementation of actually V is actually called a V fabric, and we know it because as we already discussed that on a slide 5. This views actually sits on the top of a HAN, and actually enables a routing across the different underlying network topologies. Like in this case, we have a basically thread and a Wi-Fi. So let's add the basically view, and for this we actually have to create a vFabric ID by assigning a fabric ID to it, and followed by configuring all the nodes for the all the basically nodes on which so that basically Weave can be enabled on these basic nodes. So for that basically we have to just basically type this command. This actually is a vFabric basically add. It will actually vFabric add will add assigned this basically FA1 basically ID to the vFabric, and followed by basically configuring all the nodes present in the network, whether it's actually a thread or whether it's a Wi-Fi. All the nodes whatever it will be present basically will actually get configured basically to have a basically Weave enabled on them. Yeah, so little bit typo is there. Yeah, now it's okay. So, and obviously, one more thing is that actually we have to basically add the actually gateway. Like suppose what about the basically weave nodes basically in the thread network. They didn't know basically that how to exit the network because because actually there's a no gateway basically defined for the those weave networks. I'm saying for a weave network, not for a thread nodes. And now I'm actually saying for weave network because actually we have get basically enabled on all the basic nodes. So in order to basically make them to know basically where to actually exit the network basically, so we have to make them basically to know that what's actually the gateway basically, and the gateway is actually just only the basic border router. So this command like weave network gateway, weak network gateway, which will actually define basically what's the basically gateway for that network, and this basic network is actually thread network, and the gateway is actually obviously the border router. So all the basically now all the basically weave nodes will know, okay, the border router is actually our gateway to exit from the network. Now we quickly basically check the happy state again. It's quite a handy command. So yeah, we can say nothing is actually changed basically, but just only weave is enabled. So and we can see no weave information is basically displaying. This is because we can actually see the weave information by another command known as weave state, a lot of similar command. So here we can actually see a lot of new information things. The first one is that a fabric ID, which I already told, and a global prefix basically. So what is this is that now each actually node is actually added to a V fabric, and each interface has a new IPv6. As we can see, starting from FD00, for each basically nodes, we can see that each basic node have a basically have their basically IPv6 addresses. We've actually uses IPv6 prefix of FD0048 for each node, and addresses in this basic blocks are actually called the unique local addresses, which are actually designed for use within the private network such as HAN. And this is actually combined with the fabric ID, that is actually we assign the basic fab1 to get what we call as a V global prefix, that is actually FD00, and the FV basically V1, that's actually the fabric ID. And yeah, we have seen this actually term on the slide 6 too. Yeah, but before discussing that basic slide, we can actually see output of a weave state also shows something called a weave node ID and a basically pairing code. The weave actually assigned a unique node ID along with a pairing code to each node, that is actually in a weave fabric. This node is ID is actually used to globally identify a node in a weave fabric, and joining code is actually used to basically a joiner credential for a pairing basically process. So now let's basically dig deeper into the basically happy tool for seeing how it's actually works. Like up to now basically we know that Weave is actually built on a Linux network namespaces. So yeah, it's actually use Linux network namespace to simulate complex topologies. So we can actually get sure by this command IPNet and basic list. As we can see, basically it have a basically the 6 basic nodes. What the 6 nodes basically comprises of, let's quickly see that by -j basically. In -j is for the actually it will show the basically state in a JSON format. So we can see basically for the netns, let me basically better, it's actually grep netns, let's say 5. Yeah, so we can see actually we have a thread node for a 000 and border router basically for a 001. As we were actually seeing in a IPNetNS list, this basically the ID0 basically ID3 is actually for the thread network and all. So these are the basically things in this way actually this happy actually is using Linux network namespaces basically at under the hood, we can say. So now let's basically discuss about the slides number 6. This is actually pretty easy. As a basically this IPv6 address actually of 128 bits. The 48 bits basically, as I already explained, it's actually a global prefix basically comprises of FD00 and a fabric ID, that's actually FAV1 basically, which we are assigned. This is actually the subnet, as it's written a 16-bit value determined by the underlying network, whether it's actually a Wi-Fi or whether it's actually for a thread network. And interface identifier, this actually value is derived from this value. We have something called, let's say we state, yeah. So this actually derived from basically this value. What it does is that this actually has this is a 64-bit value. So it actually takes that value and the flip the 7th bit in order to basically make it to interface identifier. And in the thread network, basically it's actually thread network does the similar thing, but it actually derives the basically from the MAC address. What it does is that it's actually take the MAC address if it is actually 64-bit and convert it into interface identifier by flipping the 7-bit. If it's actually 48-bit, then it's at a 16-bit value FE basically, inserted basically between it, so to make it 64-bit, and finally, flipping the 7-bit actually turns to our interface identifier. So this is actually done, and at last, basically but not least, basically let's do some basically topology maintenance. Like suppose basically we want to save the topology, so we can actually do this by this command happy state. Basically minus s actually stand for basically saving the topology. Now we can safely delete the topology, and we can see after this that it's actually deleted. It's indeed deleted. It's actually not. Now basically suppose we want to basically load it, we can actually load that also. Happy state basically okay. Now here is a basically fun. Happy state basically there's actually two commands, happy state load basically or a v state load. If we actually are using weave basically, then we should basically go for that, because if we use basically happy state, then basically weave configurations will not be loaded. So it's better to basically go with weave state load. And let's see basically a weave state, whether weave state will actually revive our topology or not. Okay, typo, yeah. And let's check the happy state also. Yeah, voila, we have actually our topology basically back. So yeah, this is the seminar, and this is actually these are the references which I actually used. So at last, thank you.